Hello, StarCraft fans. It is time. We are in the finals of BSL 17. Joining me is Raz to help cast with this TVP. And Raz, does it get better than this?
I don't think so. I think these are the two best players in the scene. They are both specialists in this matchup. I think it's going to be just an epic best of 9 series here. Both players definitely have their patented styles. I think that both players have been practicing like crazy, so I think we're going to see the best from them today.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this matchup. Mihu, absolutely incredible. Like last week when he played versus Bonnet, I couldn't even believe it. I was consistently looking at supply, consistently seeing him ahead in supply at like 8 minutes, 10 minutes. I'm watching it, I'm like, what the heck is going on? But I don't think he's going to have that type of situation versus Dewalt because this guy, he macros like a madman. He has a completely different style than Bonnet. You know, I saw Dewalt play versus Gypsy this weekend for some practice, and let's just say the macro was rolling in those games, man.
Yeah, I also saw Dewalt play some practice against El Champion, Terror,
Oh,
and he was just running poor Terror over. I was shocked that it was just so one-sided for Dewalt, just units flooding in with shuttles and arbiters, everything. He was just doing it all, man. I was really surprised. So he is in tip-top shape. But if there's a person that can take him down, it's Mihu. Not slouched on his practice. We were talking about it before. Practicing with the likes of Sins, Mighty, all these pro gamers, man. So he's getting in his practice as well. If what I saw was true, he was only lost 5-4 against Sins, and that's a pretty impressive stat right there in itself.
yeah, if you're beating people, almost 50-50 that have made it into ASL, you gotta, if you don't have a good shot of winning PSL, that just tells you how far the foreign level has improved. Like this is really the best of the best right now, and I'm really excited to see these games. But I think the one thing that I did notice about both these players since I have played them before is I talked about it a couple weeks ago. Mihu, when you play him, the speed, he's so quick. Like when he makes a move, he's also making another move at the same time. Dewalt is the same thing. Like he's out multitasking you, he's busting you, he's harassing you with Templar play. I just can't wait to see this slugfest.
Yeah, I think both players like to be aggressive. They like to be on the forefront. They like to be the one driving the pace. So it'll be interesting to see who can do that. We even saw in the DeWalt versus Bonds series where DeWalt was the one pressure. We're like, whoa, wait a second here. We thought Bonds would be taking all these fights. Nope, we were wrong. DeWalt just kept pushing in. He wanted to fight. Me, who loves that 4-fact style, didn't use it as much against Bonus, but I think we're just going to see just two people colliding here, man, going right after to see who could take the other one out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Jaziri coming in with the clutch $500 donation. Thank you so much, man. That puts us closer to the goal. You guys can see in the back
Move my head. Wait,
right here, somewhere over there, that we are about halfway. We're still not close to the goal of making BSL 18 happen. So if you are enjoying BSL, definitely consider making a straight up donation, or there's other ways to support too. You can subscribe, you can become a Patreon supporter. You want to get those replays of finding out how Mihu can out macro a Protoss player, definitely become a Patreon supporter. You'll get those replays.
Yeah, so please keep supporting. We do a lot of great work here at the BSL. We want to keep foreign BroodWar keep on going. So really consider doing something today, because this doesn't get any better. This is going to be the exciting point right here. All right, now let's talk prediction. Give me what you think, man.
All right. I'm a big fan of Dewalt, but I think that Mihu, he's just such a god in Terran versus Protoss, man. I actually am going to go 4-3. I'm not going to make a prediction on who wins. I think it's too close here. I'm going to say Series 4-3 is either way. The one thing that I do have my eye on is Dewalt has a little bit of an advantage. Now, hear me out here, okay? Dewalt didn't have to play like any Terrans, right? Because in BSL, Terran doesn't exist. So he can hide a lot of his builds. However, last week, Mihu went the distance versus Bonnet, right? Like he had to pull out all the stops just to take down Bonnet down. So I feel like Dewalt, he gets access to those replays or the VODs to see exactly what Mihu likes to do. Something that I noticed as a Terran player, this Mihu guy, he likes to skip scan for a long time, and you know what? I have a feeling we could see a DT drop, and if the DT drop takes down the one turret, that could be devastating.
Uh-oh, you're calling already? The Invisible Men?
The
Gonna
Invisible
help you a
Man.
big decider? They're just gonna be a big decider? I mean, I think you're dead on with that. I think it's gonna be interesting to see how Dewalt plays on some of these maps, what his style is gonna be, knowing that Mihu likes pressure as well. Will we see some Reaper play from Dewalt where he just sits in some of these high grounds and tries to go backwards? Will we see him just go 3-gate obs and have a high amount of units and pressure Mihu back? I mean, I think everything's on the table. It's such an exciting series to see what these guys have planned in store, but I think your point is spot on. It really helps to have replays of the other guy. Not that it's hard for Mihu probably to find some replays in some games of Dewalt. The guy plays a ton. So I'm sure he's done his homework as well. To me, now, these map picks I'm looking at are a little bit of a head scratcher to me. I'm surprised that Dewalt took Polypoid. I understand that he likes the standard game, but I feel like with that high ground third, able to take a fourth, kind of tough.
Yeah, you know,
78,641
playing Dewalt, he does like to do a lot of busts sometimes. And if I'm going to go for a standard map, why not just pick Circuit Breakers, right? At least on Circuit Breakers, you're going to be the one on high ground busting into a third base or a natural. So I feel like if I was Dewalt here, I would have swapped that. But at the same time, you got to remember, thank you, Blizzard. Polypoid's been in the ladder for like 5 seasons now. So you have a billion games on this, whereas Circuit Breakers, yes, it was in the ladder pool for a long time also. And even though it is standard, you haven't seen it in a long time. So, I mean, maybe that's the logic. Just play the map that I played the most right now. It's probably his favorite map, and try and just get a solid win in game 1.
Yeah, the other interesting ones I thought were the 2-player maps. You know, like usually Terran aren't like, oh yeah, I want to get my gas stolen today, so I'll pick both Invader and Neo Dark Origin. Now I think Neo Dark Origin gets better as the game goes on, a little bit harder for Protoss to take a 5th base and hold it, but you got to get through the early game. You got to get through the gases, you got to get through the zealots, you got to get through maybe what could be a double proxy gate. Like, I just feel like there's a lot of variance there, but it seems like Mihu is welcoming that today. I mean, so much he picked Invader twice.
Yeah, I don't know about these 2-player map picks, but hey, he's the one in the finals, not me. So I trust in Mihu here. We're ready for game 1 though, so let's get into our finals of BSL. It's Polypoid, Dewalt versus Mihu. Okay, in the bottom left are red Protoss. It is none other than Dewalt.
And in the top left, we have Mihu.
You know what, Raz? Because it's the finals, for those of you out there, I don't even cast with sound. I actually cast BSL without any sound. I'm going to turn on the sound today.
Wow.
So I cannot miss anything. When I hear the invisible man swiping, I want to know it.
It's unbelievable. Now can take new strides here while he casts. New strides in new directions. This is incredible. Only the finals could bring out this level of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I was a little hopeful that pro was going to go down the low ground and go for some forward gate action and really bring it from the get-go. But it is just going to be an in-base gateway. Now, if this was Bonneth, I'm betting $100 million that it's always going to be Zealot pressure. However, Dewalt plays a little different. Sometimes really just prioritizes getting down an instant Nexus, even before the first goon pops out.
Yeah, I mean, he can do anything. 12 next, standard ad play. Obviously, he has everything in his arsenal. We see here he's just going for a gateway like normal, just standard stuff from him. Going to delay his scout, just kind of boost his economy in the beginning, kind of really streamline his build order. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah. Right now we're getting FP view of Dewalt, and looks like we're having a little bit of lag there. But what I was going to say is Protoss has a lot of early game openers. You could have the no scout opener. You have the instant scout off pylon that G5 likes to do. You've got the zealot scout. You've got the goon scout. You know, a little bit later scout, but it looks like Dewalt this game is probably going to be no scout, and that signals to me that this is going to be immediate Nexus.
Yeah, immediate Nexus, maybe even a Zealot here. I mean, that gas went down at like 13 Nyokin. That's not a normal build order that I'm used to seeing here. So I'm wondering if we're going to see another pylon and some Zealot pressure, or if, like you're saying, we're just going to see a 19 Nexus.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it was a 13 gas. That's like a Nyokin style gas there, where we're rallying two zealots across the map, getting our money a little bit better before going into that gas play. But I didn't see a single zealot built this time, so it does seem like it's going to be that 19 Nexus that you're talking about. There's the goon that just started. There's the Pro for 19, and if we're going to see that Nexus, Probe needs to start going down pretty soon.
He's holding on for a second there. You there? Everything looks pretty standard from him so far. Only one on gas. Let's see. He liked those FD pushes last time as well, Nico. So I wonder if he'll try to do some of that. And there it is. 19 Nexus.
Yep. And like you're saying, this could be FD. Mihu really does like his Marines. It's crazy how many Marines he built last week on Circuit Breakers in particular. He lost like all of his Marines to goons in the beginning. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna just keep pumping them out. And after losing like 6 of them, he still had 6 more. I was just so confused. But he always makes it work. We do have the 3 Marine Vulture opener. This is the go-to standard these days. Probe intercepts at SCV. SCV does come in and see that, hey, this was Goon Nexus opener. Nothing unusual.
Yeah, I like how he got that ranged up pretty quickly with that delayed gas and able to prioritize minerals. So really good build order here from Dewalt. Hit it really well. Has enough units to make sure, because a lot of times you go with these 19 Nexus, no range, and you can feel some pressure from Terran. They can pull the boys with the Vulture and Marines and kill you without it, but Dewalt seems like he has a really good build order set here.
Yeah, actually, every time I see these Protoss players get away with a Nexus like this with no range, I get pretty mad, actually. Generally, I just pull the SCVs. The problem is even if you kill the Nexus, if you're playing an actual good Protoss, you're just behind probably. So I don't blame Mihu for not going for a pull here. We do have Roboplay as expected. Second gate coming down, so there's gonna be 2-gate ob most likely.
Yeah, I think I like that from Dewalt, knowing that Mihu likes the pressure, making sure we're prioritizing getting those early goons out. That way we can secure a third. And if there is pressure and you bust it, you're just far ahead. So I really like that he's kind of decided to go pretty standard here. Game 1, kind of just set the tone, get into a macro game, do what he has to do. Play to his bread and butter.
Yep, and there's more Marine production at the Naturals. This is most likely going to be 2 tanks, rallied Marine, rallied Vulture across the map. And 2-gate Observer, you know, it's okay, but it's not like a mega hard counter compared to 3-gate. So I think he should consider putting down a 3rd gate now to just try and shut down this play. Of course, he doesn't know that. We're the only one that knows it. But Mihu really does love this build. I feel like 3-gate ob is a good solid opener versus him. But we'll see what happens. Already Mihu has a couple mines set up. So Dewalt does need to be careful. Don't mindlessly A move. Because if he eats a mine, this game could just end.
Yeah, we don't like that. We don't need to see any of that. Where the army just walks into mines. I don't want that. But unscouted is this army moving down here, and mines are laid. Tanks and Marines, big DPS here against these 5 Dragoons. The micro battle of 6 Dragoons. Let's see what we got here.
Okay. Well, already this is kind of shut down. I don't even think high ground can really save you here. Okay, but he still takes the engagement. This is so wild. 2 tanks trying to just hold. Well, yeah, that's why you don't try and just hold right there, because those 2 tanks, yes, they're powerful, but versus 6 goons, not so much. Now, you know me, if I'm in this situation where I've just killed their FD, either Nexus is being built or Stargate is being built, and there we go, Nexus instantly at the 3rd base.
Wait, he didn't make DTs and a Stargate? Wow, he didn't follow your playbook, man. Didn't follow your playbook.
Yeah, it's not exactly in the correct order, but this is still a fine follow-up. Now, something that I did notice, just like in last week, is Mihu loves to follow up with a lot of vultures, and this type of move is really good because it's, first off, he's going to kill all those mines. Second off, he has one tank, so what can he really do to punish the goon move out? So this is a great follow-up from Dewalt. And we just got a massive donation. Thank you so much, man. That I really appreciate that. And that puts us basically at exactly $5,000. So we're almost, so we're basically halfway towards our goal.
Keep it going. Keep the donation train going today. But yeah, man, for a second there, I wasn't sure if Siege was done, Nayoka. I didn't know if Dewalt was going to have a timing to kind of push in, but he has one Siege tank up there. But one Siege tank, with Dewalt scouting that, he's got to feel good now, right? Like, you know that there's no move out happening anytime soon, even from someone like Mihu. How can you move out with 2 tanks? So he's got to feel comfortable, almost maybe even take a 4th or start getting his tech up.
Yeah, he even sees the armory timing. It's like a 7:15 armory or something ridiculous. It's like, that's going to give him a 14:30 2-1 timing. So 2-1 timing is honestly kind of off the table. I think Mihu really has to just try and make something happen with +1.
There they are, Nyokin.
Yep.
The old 4-fac.
Yep. And look at this. The like we were saying earlier, the comp sets are, in this particular game, not late, but you know, they're not like 5-minute comp sets or anything crazy. So DT drop can be strong versus this type of play, but at the same time, when Mihu plays this FD style all the time, if you go DT and you don't just and you're not able to hold the mine or hold the vulture with mines, I mean, you can just be outright dead. So DT drop may actually not be a good play versus Mihu because of his pressure all the time. And we do have shuttle now. That should be a Reaver, I imagine, but did that shuttle have speed? It's always dangerous to play shuttle play without speed.
No speed just yet, and yeah, you're right. You can't fly over one turret with no speed. That would be horrendous, but I'm sure it's on the way with seeing Dewalt only be on 3 bases. I like his choice to stay on 3 and add gateways. He know the pressure's coming. He put his forge down, has his citadel on time. +1 is coming for these dragoons. I like his choices, man.
This is the play style that he played versus Gypsy this weekend on Circuit Breakers, where it's going to be like 4 or 5 shuttles, gateway man. He may not even have Storm, and he's just going to try and bust Mihu's 3rd base, or I imagine. And we've got a Zealot and Reaver drop into the main. He's going to get that tank, and the shuttle has decent health. Okay, maybe not. It's going to get taken down, but the Reaver did a good amount of damage.
Yeah, we got a couple tanks, Goliath, some SCVs. I mean, I think that can kind of halt Mihu's economy at this point when he's playing this 4-fac, because, I mean, I think the 3rd command center actually went down on location over there.
Yeah.
Very, very aggressive to put it there, but I guess he feels he's okay after killing the Reaver.
Okay,
but anything you can do to stall this 4-fac push, I think, for Dewalt is a positive.
I don't think this is a push. I think that this is going to be, I just need to survive and take my 3rd base, and Mihu's going to sit there. But I really do think that Dewalt's going for a bust here. Now, Terran players over the past year have really changed their ordering of building the factories. It used to be 2-fact, starport, expansion, then 3rd and 4th fact. Now it's always like 4 or 5 facts before the command center. So that gives you a little bit more production. But like I said, this is going to be okay. He's just going to go even right now. There's only 5
Here we go, man. Oh my goodness, Zealots all over these tanks. Dragoons pushing up. No barracks or eBay floated here. Dewalt eliminating this Terran army on top of the high ground, and I think he may have busted this base here, Nyokin.
Yep, this is exactly why you see Terran players build their command center in their main and just float it over, because Protoss players, their macro, it's hard to believe, but it's gotten even better and stronger, and this is what's going to happen to you in the modern day TVP. You're just going to lose your command center if you build it there. Now, what does Mihu do? He has no 3rd. Dewalt's about to have a 4th base. His tank count was reset. His upgrades are lacking. If there's a Reaver in there, this game could end. The goon count is still pretty high. Is there speed on these Zealots? There is. Could have a mine drag.
Ooh. I mean, tank count being reset here. Even if he doesn't kill him here, the damage is done. The 3rd base has been canceled. We're dragging. Oh my goodness. We try to drag those mines. Tank's just surviving in the back there with no help. Oh, he's able to pick that one off. Drags the mine. Oh my goodness. almost had the craziest mind drag there. Wow.
Yeah, almost got it. Now, while all this was happening, Dewalt did commit a lot, right? He's obviously committed in terms of the attack, but at the same time, there was no transfer of probes to the 4th base. You can see his screen just went over there right now. So now he's going to transfer. I guess I didn't realize the Nexus wasn't done. I thought it was. But in his main, I saw Templar Archive. Did not see Stargate. So this is still just Gateway Man with lack of tech. It's only like 8 gate, which is not that much, versus Terran, who's on 5-6 factory right now. Protoss is taking another base bottom right, but having played Dewalt, somewhat recently in the past few months, Dewalt is not someone that has a massive amount of probes. Oh, we already have Storm. Okay, just right on top of the tanks and vultures.
My goodness. We're getting busted here.
Yeah, I didn't think he had Storm already done, but I was clearly wrong here. And those 2 Templars should have another Storm. There goes another tank. The Rax is going to die, or could die, and that's actually a big pickoff. It's going to keep Mihu down on 6 factories. Really, you're looking for like 8 fact, 9 fact. So Terran does not have critical mass factories, so his production is going to be delayed heavily, whereas Dewalt already has the majority of his stuff set up. It looks like he's on like 11 gateways now. We've got the command center done now. He needs to float that over. We've got a drop coming, but this drop needs to do a lot of damage. It can't just take down a couple SCVs or probes.
Well, Nig, I think he's saying, all right, you want to go out with all your vultures? No problem. Here I come back again. Knock, knock. I'm at the front door. Let me kill some more tanks. Let me kill some more vultures. No problem. And well, he has a cannon, man, in his natural. He's set up for this. This drop is going to do nothing here to Dewalt.
Yeah, well, oh my gosh, we've got double robo, and anybody that's watched BSL knows I'm not the biggest fan of double robo. It is high commitment to minerals, and it means that you're stuck on Gateway Man. So your mid game is strong, but your late game, not so much. So if Mihu somehow fends off another attack, we can see the supplies have already caught up. It's 125 to 105. Like, that's good for Terran. So if he can stabilize this 3rd base, it is Polypoid. You can easily stabilize a 4th base, and going up against a Protoss player who doesn't have a late game tech, I actually think Mihu could come back.
Yeah, so when I watched Dewalt play against Terror, this is exactly what he did. And he just was relentless, Nyokin. He never allowed Terror to really even get up that 4th base. He just kept going in with drops like this, storm drops non-stop on these SCV lines, knowing that he's only on 2 bases. These are where all the SCVs are. Constant bust, constant resetting of the tank. If you don't have that tank count, you really can never attack. So that's exactly what he did. And we see now, again, Nyokin, he's up 40 supply.
Yeah, but Terran has reached the point.
Oh my god, man, no turrets, like you said.
Yeah, we got shuttles into the main. If there's Reaver here, if it's just Zealot, I don't know what this actually accomplishes. The Zealots die, okay, there's a storm, but like you're saying, a lot of the SCVs already been transferred. Like, this is annoying to deal with, but remember, I was talking about how Terran, it's going to take until 1430 or so to get 2-1. If he didn't miss his upgrades, he should have 2-1 done now, and that's a big power spike. Protoss, yes, they have 5 bases, but this isn't best. This isn't somebody that takes 3/4 of the map, has 9 bases on you. Like, this is still just Dewalt's side of the map, and his army comp, is it pure Zealot?
Pure Zealot Goon Shuttle. We got Shuttle Man. Must be watching those mini replays.
Yeah, but this...
Get on the way.
I casted a game of Dewalt versus Royal a couple months ago, and this is kind of how it went, is Dewalt was... macroing like a madman. He didn't overexpand, so he kept his probe count kind of low, and he mass shuttles. But the problem is he never killed Royal when he needed to, and that means Royal just split the map and ended up coming back. Now we've got another massive attack. If Mihu holds this, I think he's clearly back into the game, but he's got to hold it. That's 4 shuttles. That's going to be so much stuff. Supplies are pretty damn high for Terran, though. So many tanks, so many mines set up. Mines are amazing in the front. Look how many Zealots die before they even get into the fight. Great Storm hits a lot of the vultures. Oh, so many Zealots in the back.
Oh my goodness, man. I don't know. Tons of vultures here. Can he get a big storm down on those vultures? He does. Wipes a lot of them out. A couple siege tanks coming in from the back to siege to try to save this base. It may be too late. Once again, the tank count is reset, and Dewalt pushing through here.
Oh, if that Templar has another storm available and shuts down the SV line, that could be critical. But like you said, the tank counts have been dwindled down to nothing. Zealots running in, but Zealots by themselves are not going to win this fight. And look at this. Mihu knows he's held the attack. That's an SCV going to top middle.
Oh
That's
my
going to try and build a command
Oh,
center. Yeah,
Not
gets the
the
Templar.
man. Oh, I thought he got it.
Yeah, so this was so close to be an absolute bust, but it's held. Now, Stargate, I see it's blinking. I didn't actually see if there's a Arbiter Tribunal, but what else could it be? It can't be a scout, right? If it's a scout, I think we're trolling. It is! It could be a scout! What are we doing? What are we doing?
Maybe it's going to be a Sair, man. We got some D-Web incoming. Bonnet-inspired play. Oh, it is a Sair.
Okay, a Sair to draw shots into the main. I don't know, but here we go, round 2. Another shuttle. Zealot, don't unload. Is there anything in there? Okay, there is. Only 8 goons on the low ground there. This is going to be denied. So another good hold for Mihu, though. So he is mined out in his main and natural, pretty much. His command center at top middle I think it actually got killed. I don't even know if it got canceled. So he is on 1 base mining, whereas Dewalt's still on 3 base mining. But like I said, Dewalt's late game. He's just now transitioning into it with Arbiter, so it's really lacking. So if Mihu stabilizes, and can survive for 5 minutes, all of a sudden he'll have... Oh my god, Mihu doesn't have 2-1! He has +1!
Just about to say, Naokin, I don't see a 2 in that category for... Oh, and we canceled this command center again! I don't know, man. I think Mihu really needs to be able to get to 12 o'clock and hold it. His upgrades are lacking. Protoss is 2-1. We know that's a huge power spike for them. He really needs to think to start getting something done in terms of securing more of the map.
Yeah, I don't even know what Protoss's upgrades are, but if Protoss has +2 weapon, oh, that is a huge power spike for him, especially if he has armor with it. Like, it will be crazy how strong the Protoss army is. Now, there was a drop at bottom right, but it did get spotted by 2 goons, so that should be shut down. Okay, we've got the fantasy drop. 1 tank, 2 vultures, unload. The goons are focus firing the drop ship, and he kills
He got
it.
it.
With the tank.
That was from inside the paint, Naokin, not from downtown. Easy pickoff.
Yeah, in the paint. So if it's in the paint, is the Walt Shack of BroodWar?
He is, man.
Oh,
oh my goodness. Goodbye, SCVs.
That's 11 kills, and actually, I thought I just saw Mihu.
Oh my god, to get it off! Oh,
I thought I saw Mihu just transfer workers. It looks like they were transferred to top middle. Now, I don't think this is a broke replay. I think he's just desperate for minerals, so he's mining anything he can. So Mihu completely starved out. His command center is about to finish, so he needs to float that over, but he does have a lot of supply. It's still 140, but again, lacking those powerful upgrades. +1 Terran is not that strong.
Yeah, and with these drops continuing to kill SCVs, man, I mean, it's just going to hurt more and more and more as this game goes on. He's got to replace those as well. We don't have the economy. Dewalt finally taking another base and adding a gateway farm down bottom right. Dewalt in a very secure position. I'm wondering if we're going to see like a 5 shuttle drop in the main here, Naokin. Like just drop all zealots all over the... Oh, there's 4 of the shuttles.
Oh my god. Okay, he's actually going to try and bust again. The Terran has a lot of tanks this time, and they're spread out, but there's no racks float. There's not a lot of mines. Is he just going to jump on this top middle base? You got to remember, there's no way goons can go help over here, so it's just going to be like a pure zealot drop, I think. I don't know about this. This was kind of weird. He draws the vultures out of position. Tanks didn't move, though. I don't know. That's a lot of That's a lot of stuff.
I don't know. We're going in anyway. We don't care. We're trying to get as much as an effective trade as possible. Killing off a ton of tanks once again. Resetting that tank count back down to 1. I don't know, Naokin. I think he has enough. That 2-1 power spike here for Protoss maybe just be enough for him to be able to bust through on this third. Ooh. We see Mihu's supply is plummeted below 100.
Yeah, +3 power spike for Protoss, and +2 kicked in right at that moment for Terran. So it was a good power spike for him, but he's not able to hold. Now he's down 50 supply. He's on 1 base mining. Protoss now has killed the key part of the map, which is the high ground on the 3rd base. It's going to be near impossible to retake this position, and Dewalt may not even let you take it. He may just try and bust again with another shuttle bomb.
Yeah, I don't know how we hold. We have only 2 tanks even on that 12 o'clock position now. If 5 more shuttles come flying in there with an Arbiter and some units even from the low ground, I think we're going to see a final bust here. Mihu holding on, making Dewalt work for it, but I think Dewalt has punched his win for game number 1 here.
Yeah, doubling the supply. He has the Arbiter. He still has shuttles. He's still got quadruple shuttle. But, you know, he's got more of the map now. He's got, what is it, 7 bases coming up. He's got the +3 weapon, which is nuts. I think he has double Stargate too. So he can turn those quadruple shuttles into quadruple Arbiter really quickly. Now, this could be the final move. How much supply can Mihu really take down with just 100 himself? Here we go.
I don't know, Nogan. If he holds with 4 tanks, I don't think there's any hope ever.
Yeah.
If he holds here, that's it.
A clutch
D-Matrix going down, doing what he can. A ton of Zealots being dropped behind here. Dewalt pushing up. Mihu doing what he can, but there is just too much, and GG is called here from Mihu. Wow, man. What a display from game number 1 here from Dewalt. Just absolutely pushing through, saying, man, you want to be aggressive? So will I. Here comes 45 shuttles flying your way. I hope you made some turrets.
Yeah, I hope so, and I don't remember him having any turrets.
He had no turrets, man.
Yeah, so those shuttles just were able to unload every time. But this is the type of game that you were hoping to see in the finals. Just a huge macro play, right? Huge, insane harassment from Dewalt. Good macro from Mihu, too, like he kept up well. But it's just never ending. It's like when we were watching Mihu play versus Ziki, right? He's just constantly sending, or it was Crossy, just constantly sending across the map. Except this time around, it's Dewalt saying, you're not getting the space, I'm sorry. I'm going to kill it over and over. You're never going to max. And he just brought it.
It was one of those games where it's like, you know what? I'll trade my army as long as I'm trading effectively and killing your tanks. No big deal. You can never move out. I'll be able to do whatever I want on the map. If you decide to move your vultures, I'm going to drop 12 Zealots behind you, all over your siege tanks. I'm going to keep pushing through. I don't see. Usually, Mihu and his vultures are just so deadly. They're all over the map. They're laying mines. They're harassing probe lines. We didn't get to see any of that here in game number 1 because Dewalt had his foot on the pedal the entire time.
Yeah, like after the FD, did Terran even get past the center of the map? I don't think so. Like that's one of the reasons you can't lose your tanks in the early game, because as soon as he lost the tanks, Dewalt, he's like, Nexus. Yep, that's mine. I'm taking that third base. And you know, as I was pointing out, Mihu likes to follow up his 2-tank attack with a lot of ultras, and Dewalt did exactly what you're supposed to do. Like, oh, you're just not gonna have tanks? What did he do? He instantly countered with 4 goons. He didn't get a lot of damage done. He killed a decent amount of mines, but it forces Mihu to go siege, which is an expensive upgrade, by the way. It's equal to a factory, basically, which means your macros, you know, kind of down in the dumps right after the FD. So it was a perfect response from Dewalt. We're going into game 2. It's Invader, a 2-player map. Mihu actually picked this. So series is tied 1-1. Mihu started up 1-0. Let's get into game 2.
Ooh, another huge tip, too. Thank you, Anonymous, for that tip. We're going to keep bringing the hype, keep that donation train going. We appreciate it.
Yes, we do. And in the top left, nullifying that 1-0 lead, it is Dewalt.
And in the bottom right, trying to bounce back, it's Mihu. All right,
Yep.
We'll see what he decides, man. Are we going to see a probe come flying across this map or what?
I actually think, okay, as a non-Protoss player, if a Terran picked Invader versus me, I would feel like either you just don't care about getting gas stolen, which means you're confident in your play, or you're just gonna, 10 gas, and you've already have something planned for that. So if I was Dewalt here, I actually wouldn't even bother trying this, but he is gonna send across the map, and last week versus Bonnet, Mihu did 10 gas, which did cripple his econ, but in the end, Mihu still recovered and still ended up winning the game on Invader.
Yeah, he was impressive there and was able to pull that one out. I'm not sure what Dewalt's thinking here, but I think he's going to want to take the gas ban. I feel like it's always an advantage early just to do it, and he'll deal from there. He's probably played so many games, practices so many times. Let's see what happens here.
Oh, okay, so Mihu 11 gases, and actually
It's gas before racks, man.
Yeah, well, he doesn't want to get stolen. Actually, Dewalt has a good build for this because that means that your racks is late versus a forward gate. I don't know about you, Raz, but as a Terran who doesn't have a racks versus zealots, I'm not feeling good about that.
On the other side, you know I love to send some early zealots, and this would make
Yeah.
me nothing but happy to see that gas go down first. I'd be like, oh, thank goodness. This is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Playing right into my hands here.
So we do have the racks at the bottom side of the command center, but you know, with the gas being on the top side and the zealots coming through the top side, where are you going to position your Marines to prevent the zealot from just being absolutely annoying on this SCV line?
I mean, Naoki, can you wall this base? What are we doing out here? Can we wall it? We should have done that at the start.
You can wall it, man. You guys know I'm a big fan of the wall, but when players do just build like 2 or 3 zealots and just sit outside of your ramp, it's kind of hard to get out of your base with a wall, but it is effective, you know, in terms of not getting your build disrupted. However, look at that SCV. Does that say 5 health? He's trying to find it.
Go Dewalt.
Going back. Oh, he thought about it. He was going to have that pro was supposed to be a master.
How is that? How on earth is that factory complete? What? This is 1 Marine versus 1 Zealot, and your factory is out in no man's land. He's going to need some flash levels of luck here. SCV, will it bounce on the right side? Answer is no. Zealot already gets a couple of pot shots off. He's trying to catch that Marine. The Marine could just get taken down by the probe, actually. Oh, goodbye, SCV. Got one.
That's one.
He gets another shot off, and now second Zealot is coming in. And like I said, look how far the factory is from the racks. 2 Zealots.
Yeah, it's almost worth just taking some hits here from these Marines to keep killing that SCV, man. Just to deny.
Wow.
Oof. Good
Wow,
micro there from Mihu.
Yeah, that was really good control. He ends up not losing the SCV building the factory. So that means it's going to be completed. He didn't lose any Marines in that scenario either. So now, actually, this was a really good hold from Mihu. Okay, for now it's a good hold. Hello, we're back.
Calm down, Nyokin. There was no hold. There's more zealots coming, all right? We got more. We think that as Protoss players, we stop making them. We don't. We keep sending them.
Yeah, I don't. I hit that Z button, and the only reason I'm hitting the Z button is because the K button is grayed out for a little bit of time, but as soon as that becomes enabled, that's being spammed also. And I think is that a goon that sharked around the left side of the map? No, it's a 3rd Zealot, so he built 4 Zealots here.
We might see the old run by the bunker, Nyokin.
He could just kill the bunker. He knows that the Vulture's out in the map. Now, this is going to get ugly because the Vulture's going to get in here before the Dragoon gets in here. But he could just lose his bunker. There's no SCV here to repair. Probes are going to die. Yeah, it's going to get weird.
Oh my god, he ran the first zealot by so he'd unload the bunker. He didn't do it, but he doesn't care, man.
Oh my gosh. And he's floating his racks. So all he has to hold is production from his 1 factory. The Marines are still not out of the bunker. Okay, now they are. The Vulture dies.
Dead.
Yeah, he did kill like... Oh, this is really good from Mihu. He's going to hold it easily. He's going to kill the tank, or kill the Coon, and the 2 Zealots.
Wow. I can't believe that, Nyokin. That was a crazy good hold. He did lose some SCVs, but he also killed some probes and forced a lot of lost mining time as well. So, well done for Mihu there.
Yep, and knowing Mihu, he's not going to let this advantage slip. He's going to put his foot on the pedal. I expect that Rax to be blinking pretty soon. Remember, he kept all his Marines alive too, so this is going to be maybe 3 tanks with rallied Vultures with like 6 or 7 Marines. And this is going to be hard to stop because, first off, it was 1 gate production for a long time. Second, that's a forward gate, so if it dies, where's our production coming from? Dewalt's in trouble here.
Yeah, Dewalt definitely in some trouble. The good news about this map is if he can catch the move out, he can keep backing up to some of the high grounds and fighting from high grounds. But there just may be too many units, and you really got to worry about being backstabbed by Vultures in the other ramp of your natural. So he's really got to be careful what he chooses to do and where he chooses to engage. But 3-gate observer, Naoki, I think he knows it's coming.
Yep, it has to be coming. There goes the move out on to the left side. And there's the rallied vultures that I was expecting. It is high ground on this side of the map, but you know, if Mihu gets siege actually, just skips mines, I think that could just be a killing move. He can have vision with the vultures on the top side. There's no way for the goons to engage, not with this marine count and vultures to buffer. There's no shuttle either. There's no observer. That could be a great move.
I think you're reading his mind, man. We see the factory spinning the add-on here, as well as mines already there. Siege must be on the way. Cannot get his tank picked here.
Well, I think actually Dewalt has to engage here before the mines get set up, but he does. Okay, never mind. The observer's out now. Actually, now I don't like it. I think that the window is come and gone. This is 6 goons. There's an observer out. Now look at the top side of the map. Mihu's like, yeah, move out of position, man, so I can run those vultures in. He's already got some up there.
Those vultures are doing the crazy dance, man. Crazy dance. Dude, Dewalt doing his homework, knows something is up here. He's like, oh my God, is he gonna intercept his army?
Well, he may intercept it, but it's just 5 goons. I don't know if 5 goons beats this, but he will catch a couple vultures. Now, even though they've laid the mines, this is good. Vultures soak up a lot of hits, so that was a good pickoff from Dewalt. But he's still...
He needs to be careful here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, how does that not connect?
Ooh. Man, that was playing with fire right there, walking up on those ramps with no vision yet.
Well, just like in the game before, he knows that, hey, you have a couple tanks, but then you don't build tanks for a long time. So I'm just going to clear out all the mines. Uh-oh.
Ooh. Ooh.
That was last second.
Oh, playing with fire there. I like it. I like it. That was close, though. Are we going to see a bulldog bust here, Mannequin?
I think that's suicide. If you're bulldogging a guy that has so many Marines left over, that feels like suicide. And it would be suicide because it's a 5-fact follow that he's just now seeing.
Yeah, the question is still, will he take his 3rd Nexus right now, or will he just add some gateways to hold this?
Well,
I really like him though.
Does he need gateways, Raz? He's got 3.
He's got 3, you're right. You know what? If he had those invisible men, we'd win, because I don't see any other comsat stations. No comsats.
He must be building an academy.
Must be, right? Nope.
No academy. Oh, there it is. Of course.
Oh.
Right when we say it.
He heard you. He heard you.
So, Dewalt actually is in a bit of trouble here. He's going to take his low ground 3rd base. I guess it is an interesting base to take, but I don't know if you're going to be able to hold this. Well, hopefully we don't drop, because I think, you know, it's not necessarily a guaranteed Mihu victory, but I was Mihu here and I dropped and we had to redo. To say I would be pissed is an understatement.
That would be unfortunate.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
So Dewalt, he's got a lot of goons, but that is a lot of tanks. That is 8 tanks, in my opinion. Once you reach 8 tanks, you've got a lot of firepower. Like, if you're not going to be playing the 2-1 style and you want to play for some type of early game push, 8 tanks is the number to look for. A single Goliath pushes the Reaver back, but Reaver gets off a shot and takes down one of the tanks. Vultures into the natural. Hello. Nope. Maybe.
He thought about it, decided. 3 probes, 4 probes, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, we're going double digits. 10. Oh my goodness, 10 probes killed here.
Yeah, and this is at a point in the game where Mihu's wanting to attack you. He can't build probes. Right now he's got to build units just to stop this attack. And we know Mihu doesn't miss a beat on SCVs, never ever. So this was a really good timing from Mihu there, exploiting the opening. And now it's 6 gate versus 5 factory. I don't think 6 gate beats 5 factories unless there's some type of heroic mind drag.
Not in your own units though, right?
No, you can't do that.
Okay.
I mean, if you're playing me, you can do that. I will accept that.
You're a nice guy. to allow other players to do that for you.
Yeah. Damn, this is ruthless. This isn't gonna work. Reaver, he needs to either get on any shot.
Reaver down.
Well, that's a lot of goons on top side. Actually, there's no goons on the right side anymore. GG comes out.
GG.
Brutal.
Tough one there. You know what? Now I start to see why Mihu likes Invader. He loves the aggression. If he can get into those good spots with those like tight areas and the high grounds, he fights so effectively, and we know that. Like he fights so well with those smaller to mid-sized armies that he can just take advantages like that.
Like he just drew everything out of position, and then when Dewalt took the low ground, I was just thinking like, well, Mihu's just gonna take the high ground, man, and siege it. So I don't know about this. I think taking the top middle base would have been better, but you know, he decided on the low ground. After the vulture got in the natural, it's just over, right? It's just dealt too much damage. But it was a good idea from Dewalt. I was not expecting to see his 4 zealot goon run by. You know, if it's Ghosted Arc, maybe I expect that, but not from Dewalt.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. I thought he was going to run the first zealot in to pull the Marines out of the bunker and then go into the natural. That's what I thought he was originally going to do, but he ended up just running everything by after, so that's all she wrote for that map. Apocalypse next. So Apocalypse, great map to stay on top of the high ground, but the middle is buildable. I feel like once Terran can get a hold of the middle of the map, it becomes really hard into the mid to late game for this exact placement of the map. With like these high grounds, you got to walk through the middle no matter what. You have to go through the side. So if you control that middle as Terran, you're in great shape. But you have to get up the high ground to do it.
Yeah, you got to get up the high ground. You got to not lose your main to Mass Shuttle Man. You got to not get storm dropped over the cliff at your natural. Like I was saying last week, I think this is a really good map for Protoss, especially if you're somebody that likes drops, which Dewalt clearly does, but Bonnet clearly does. And then this is a map where you can play bus style, you can play arbiter style, you can play carrier style. So I think if Mihu can sneak out a win here, he's going to be looking really good moving into future maps. But this to me is a really strong Protoss map. But with all that said, our players are ready. Let's get into game 3. It's going to be Apocalypse, Dewalt versus Mihu. In the bottom left, striking back in game 2, it is Mihu.
And in the bottom right, we have Dewalt. Alright, man. Do you go Pylon Scout, try to steal the gas on a 3-player map, really mess with Mihu?
I don't think so, because he's content playing 11 gas. He doesn't care if you pick Invader, where you're going to get gassed on a lot. So I actually think Dewalt needs to just go back to his Polypoid opener. You know, just 19 Nexus or some type of big econ opener. You don't really need to scout on this map because, hey, there's only 2 positions. You're not getting damage done with a Zealot versus Mihu anyways. You're not getting damage done with a Goon. So why not just not scout and, you know, just get big eco?
Yeah, you're right. I think that's solid. Play that Shuttle Man style where you can drop 5 shuttles in the back. I don't love Shuttle Man either, but we see the scout after the pylon. He's looking for it.
Well, I'm not sure what this scout timing is for. Will it even get there in time? Okay, it would get there in time to stop a 12 gas, maybe even an 11 gas. So maybe this actually is quicker than I thought. But unfortunately for Dewalt, Mihu's not even top middle.
Yeah, that's what's tough about this. You do this, you send an early probe out. Now all of a sudden you're a little bit behind, but no big deal. Dewalt had to plan for that as well. Right now he's like, oh, how unlucky am I?
Yep.
And once again, now you can look at this gas timing if there's even going to be a gas from Dewalt. Yeah. He just doesn't take it. Oh, we put a second pylon, so we're gonna go Zealot into Nexus maybe.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm a fan of playing Zealot into Mihu. We just watched him with his factory, you know, a screen away from the racks. No Sim City. It didn't even matter. He lost 1 SCV, killed 2 Zealots, if I remember correctly. So the Zealot pressure just doesn't work versus him. I don't know about this. This feels like you're just gifting away 200, 300 minerals, and the guy's build order doesn't get disrupted at all.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're going gas after. Okay, so we're gonna go 2 Zealot, core, then a Dragoon pressure this expansion. But I agree, his Zealot, the micro against the Zealot was so well done, and now we have a Sim City. Like, I'm not sure what we plan on getting done, and it's not that Apocalypse is a massive map, but the pathway from base to base is pretty far.
Yeah, and we do have the factory next to the racks, so it's got some good Sim City right there. Marines pop out right next to it, and we do have the Zealot moving across. I guess the one thing that Dewalt does have going for him is SV didn't scout at all, so his first whiff of the Zealot is right now, but he's just going to retreat. Second Marine's already out. Third Marine's going to be coming out pretty soon. We know Mihu likes to open Vulture before add-on, so again, what's this Zealot supposed to do? Now, I guess the Marine actually doesn't fit through the factory and the racks there, so that could have gotten ugly, but like I said, this just gets pushed back easily.
Yeah, once those Vultures out especially, it'll be devastating. We need to get that Dragoon over there and maybe try to stop the bunker, but I'm not sure we're going to be able to get there in time. I don't think it's going to work. He'll be fine. He's even adding a 4th Marine. I'm assuming he put it down to 3rd supply depot, and then he'll take his command center and be totally fine.
Well, he did save the Zealots this time, and they will be useful later into the game. You can use them with a Bulldog, you know, with your Reaver drop later on. So it's not wasted supply, but a lot of times when I do watch Protoss players open with Zealot, they cut a probe here and there. So I would be curious to see if DeWalt's actually down workers, but we'll never actually know because this is live and not a replay. Now the Vulture was like, well, your goon can't be everywhere, so let me just waltz on in here, pop that probe, see you later. And he may, nope, not going to commit. I think that's smart. Keep the Vulture alive. That means he can lay mines later on.
Yeah, that was well done by him. Chasing the SCV can get tricky. You got to be careful when you're doing that early game because you do not want that Vulture to slip in. No bunker, 5 Marines. Is it FD time?
Well, I think it's FD time. Why not? You've got 4 Marines. You didn't lose any. You didn't even take a hit. He's got 5 Marines. He didn't even have to build a bunker. DeWalt will spot that, hey, you don't have a bunker, man, so this has got to be some type of pressure play. If I was DeWalt here, I would go 3-8 ob. I think you've got to make sure you don't die. Or this, just 1 gate Reaver is also very good. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of Reaver versus players that open FD or do 2-fact, 4-fact timings.
Yeah, I mean, the Reaver is fantastic. Once it gets out in time, these kind of pushes just get absolutely destroyed, right? Like, it just splashes all over the Marines, the Vulture, you know, you just easily just pull down all the stuff that needs to be there for your units to kind of take over, and then you can immediately go to the main and just get some work done.
Well,
but I don't know if it's going to be out, man.
Yeah, I don't know what Mihu saw, but he's not waiting for a second tank, which means that the Reaver's not going to be out in time. I don't even know if the goons have range, actually. Look at, they don't have range. Look at that. Their range upgrade is not done yet. So this could actually deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, he has to be careful with the micro. We don't have an observer either, so we're blind with no range here.
Yeah, and Reaver not out either. And Mihu sees, hey, your observatory just finished. Well, what the heck does that mean? That means that either it's straight Reaver or there's a DT drop coming. So I think Mihu should actually turn around, and that's exactly what he's doing, because what can you do into straight Reaver? Well, not much if you don't have siege mode. And second, if it's a DT drop, you're just outright dead. So I think retreating is a smart move here, and he intercepts the shuttle.
I'm going to say he sees it, Nyokin, he sees it. He's just going to go home and defend this, and when he does that, he'll be in great shape. SCV production has been really solid. Siege mode should be done soon. He has some Marines to attack the shuttle. I'm not sure how much DeWalt can get done with this drop. And here we go. He's going to drop the Zealot first, and then Reaver after. Oh, or not, or just drop the Reaver, whatever we want to do. Ooh,
Okay,
good first shot there.
I'm surprised that actually connected. I thought that the Reaver just decided to not deal damage today, and that shuttle takes another shot there. So it is heavily damaged, and you saw Mihu scrambling to build turrets. The reason for that is DT drop hits at 6:30, and that's right when we were dropping, which means it could have been DT drop for sure. So good instant reaction from Mihu. Unlucky Scarab shots, again, doesn't get any damage done.
What's wrong with these Reavers, man? Come on.
Go BSL.
Connect with those Scarabs.
I don't know, man. Ooh, okay. Well, despite all this, and despite what I thought was a good opener from Mihu, okay, he's coming in again with another attack, 5 tanks. Dewalt is up 15 supply. Now, this could get dicey because Dewalt's about to spend 400 minerals on a Nexus, but the Observer spots these tanks moving.
Man, Mihu doesn't care. He's like, I'm just going to push. He's like, I'm just going for it, man. Why not?
All the time he tests your multitask. While he's while he's not necessarily attacking, while he's moving his units, he's saying, well, you know, you may mess up your build. I don't have to commit with this. I can just back off. But this does look like a commitment to me. Where are the Zealots, though? Are there no Zealots? Double Reaver.
Double Reaver.
Okay, we messed up.
Oh, man.
Ooh. He gets one of the
You
Reavers.
get one, but,
Yeah, but
at what cost?
These are heavily damaged. Oh, the goats going!
Drop the Reaver!
Oh
my god, 3 tanks on 1 hit here.
These goons that were left in the back, they're like, you idiots, I'll get rid of these tanks for you.
Let me show you how it's done. This guy's a hero! What a hero!
Look at him, just one shot.
Oh, that guy's going down in the storybooks, man. We're gonna talk about that one Dragoon that held the attack for Mihu with 3 tank kills. Legend.
Yeah, that Zealot's a legend too. He's holding the line, but the Vultures still get in. These goons, like, they can't believe it. They're like, wait a minute, I had to kill all the tanks. Now I've got to kill all the Vultures.
Well, they're starstruck, and they got to watch live that other Dragoon kill 3 siege tanks. I mean, not every Dragoon gets to talk about that kind of story.
It is true. And this is a 5-fact follow-up. Starport in the back.
Wow.
I didn't actually see in Mihu's base at any point if there's an armory anywhere. But this could, again, be the Mihu special where he just skips upgrades for a long time.
You know, Logan, I feel like with Mihu, once he sees the strategy work, once he sees the build order work, he's very inclined to continue to do it until you show him you can beat it. So last game, the 5-fact was the winner. Now all of a sudden we have a 5-fact again. I feel like the same thing happened with Bond. Once he gets something that works, he's like, I'm just going to keep doing it. Show me you can stop it.
I mean, that's what I would do. It's like if I'm playing Terran versus Zerg, you're going to open 3-hatch every game? All right, well, I'm just going to 5-racks you because it's the best build. And if you can't stop it, well, it's just going to keep coming. So I think that's a smart move. We do have Vultures trying to lay mines, but not really getting much intel. This is, again, another skimpy tank count for Mihu. He does have 5-fact before his command center, I think, was built, though, so he will have a lot of stuff. So I think if Dewalt goes for a bust, that could backfire pretty quickly. In Mihu's main, I saw either a 6-fact or armory or something going down for him. And Academy's still not done, by the way.
We don't need one of those. We're good without it. Why spend that money on an academy when you can make 2 more Vultures?
Ooh, Wraith, okay. You know, actually, some Terran players these days go Cloaked Wraith. And if you get like 3 or 4 of them, the shuttles actually die really fast.
Yeah,
But
they do.
there's only 1 Wraith, and there's no Cloak. So this is just to make sure he doesn't get dropped and take a lot of damage. But again, we have another Mihu move out. But this is Apocalypse, man. You're attacking uphill. I don't know how you make this work. Also, you have no comsat, so you can't even prevent the Observer from seeing it. So Dewalt just sees it from a mile away.
Think it matters to him? Think he's just like, you know, uphill doesn't bother me. I can handle it. I can shoot uphill. My siege tanks do.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about this. Like, this is kind of like when Mihu played versus Boneth on Retro. There's a random 5 tanks in the center of the map, and there's 2 turrets. Why are they there? Like, what happens if Protoss runs around this army? Do we just lose our 3rd base? What happens for Terran? Like, are we pushing with this, or are we just containing? I don't know what the game plan is.
So I do think that the game plan is to sit here and contain and not move now, because this is the part of the map, or part of the game where I think it gets weird with the map, because once Terran controls the middle, it's very hard to maneuver your army around it. Like, you have to go through very small chokes to get there, right? You have to go down or up and around. Oh, yeah. One shuttle there, but I think that's his plan right now. Let me split this map up. Let me make sure you can't go back. Only one Reaper gets out.
Yep, only one. And I think what this move was intended to do was to be a diversion so you can bust the center. But now that the attack just gets instantly shut down, that's down the drain. Now, he did spot a lot of Goliaths and a lot of tanks. I feel like if you're going to try and bust the center, now's the time. Because you saw a lot of very strong units just sitting in the main. But look at this drop right at the at the perfect time to prevent that attack from happening.
We don't have speed on our zealots yet, so we can't do a bust. Oh, no, my God, no! Oh, no! Okay, wow. Oof. We escaped imminent disaster there, and I hook in with that mine sitting in between the Dragoons and the probe line. But we don't have speed yet, so we can't bust. And the longer that Mihu can take this position in the middle, the better he's going to be. He could turn it up. He could float some stuff over there. He'll just be able to reinforce from his base. He's already going up to 7 factories. Dewalt just getting on his 4th base a little late here. Very strong position right now from Mihu.
I think Dewalt's in trouble. I think his gateway count's lacking. This is a really fortified position in the center of the map. Like you were saying, where do you move as Protoss? Like, even if you move around, the mine at bottom middle is going to spot it. There's some vision at the top left, so they're going to spot, you know, the loop around attacks, and Mihu will respond appropriately. This feels like this has to do devastating damage. I feel like here come the Zealots. They ate a lot of damage to the mines. There are so many Vultures that haven't been even taken damage yet. Tank count is incredibly high. Zealot Bomb was okay. Can Dewalt get through though? There's a lot of goons, but there's no more Zealots left over.
Man, I don't know. This is going to be super close. We're still not sieging our tanks. We're just fighting with unsieged tanks here. Dewalt bringing up reinforcements. A couple mines do with those Zealots, but it looks like Mihu has done it, man. Supplies are now even. Dewalt is pushed back. Mihu contains Dewalt again from that middle location, and now we'll be able to set up again.
Yep, and these drops are so annoying.
I think Mihu's upgrades are 0-0, man. Did I see that correctly?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No upgrades whatsoever. I'm shocked.
Yeah, and like I was saying, the gateway count is just not great for Dewalt. And he really needed to win that fight. Like, the whole army needed to be wiped for Protoss to have a chance. Yes, it is hard to take a 4th base on this map, but look at that factory count. It's 8 fact versus 8 gate.
Oh no. Oh no. Alright, we do get one Templar out. We get a Storm. Ooh. Pretty effective for the one Storm there. But how does Dewalt get to a 5th base? If Mihu can just secure mid left, I feel like he is just in fantastic position. Oh, we're just going to take that one, Naogan. Why not take the one close to your opponent's base? Why not?
And this cannon just cannot get up and running for Dewalt in the main. Like, it's just now starting again. There's a mine here. He may be... Oh, can he catch him? Oh, if he was to go right then. Well, the tanks were on top of the mines. It would have been beautiful. But again, another drop. Well, that is happening.
Oh, Storm whiffs here. Oh, my goodness. Tons of probes go down to that mine along with the tank. And it...
The mines. Oh!
Great drag. Well done there. Oh, my God. Oh, okay. A couple tanks do go down. It looks like Dewalt might be able to push through this now, man.
Yeah, Dewalt's going to clean up the army, but again, supplies are reset. That's in favor of Terran. Terran's got 4 bases. Yes, Protoss has 4 bases themselves, but there's no tech for Protoss. It's Shuttle Man, Gateway Man versus a Terran who even has late upgrades. Will be able to get to 2-1.
Yeah, Protoss also only on +1 attack only, with no probes even mining at the natural right now. Mihu multitask with these drops and these attacks are really starting to kick in here. Dewalt feeling the pressure. Templars being sniped. And now Mihu has the high ground.
Yep, even though there's 1 tank, there's only 1 goon here. So who cares? Goliath Vulture is going to melt everything.
Oh, we could have a massive drag. Oh, we very close. And GG is called from Dewalt. Man, it's so impressive with no upgrades that Mihu can take these fights and just win them. Like, I'm looking at 0-0 Terran Mech. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's not great. But you know what? It doesn't matter. He still wins these fights in these parts of the map where you're like, whoa, wait a second. What's going on here?
Well, you know, having watched enough Mihu games at this point, if you're a Terran player out there and you wonder why you don't win the fights, watch where your vultures are and then compare it to where Mihu's vultures are. The reason he wins the fights is his vultures, they get maximum damage done before they die. Like in that fight in the center of the map, basically all the zealots were dead before the zealots even got to the vultures. And then once there's no zealots to buffer for the goons, that attack's done, right? Mihu has the best tank vulture control in the scene. He always maximizes the amount of damage, even without upgrades. It's crazy how effective his attacks are.
Yeah, in the high ground, doesn't care. One tank, doesn't care. Down 20 supply, doesn't care. This guy just moves out and takes these fights and wins them somehow, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many tanks you have if the units can't get to them, right? You could have 2 tanks, but if they're dishing out 70 damage over and over and over for like, a minute straight, like, it's ridiculous. So, Mihu, he takes game 3, which puts him up 3-1 because he starts up 1-0. It's going to be back on his map pick now. Can't remember what his map pick was, but
Dark
Apocalypse.
Origin.
Oh, Dark Origin. But Apocalypse, easily one of the best Protoss versus Terran maps in the map pool. Now you're going on Dark Origin, which is another map where Mihu can sit there. This time he can sit behind the bridges. It's a small map where even if Dewalt gets 4 or 5 bases quickly, where's our 6th base? Where's our 7th base? Oh wait, it doesn't exist. So you're going to be going split map versus a Terran who's going to have positional advantage. He's going to have, he's just so good with the micro, with the vulture and tank positioning, like I said. I think Dewalt is in trouble on this map.
Yeah, I think this map really leads us up to hard late game, right? Like you're saying. Where do you take a base as Protoss? I don't know. And if Mihu does what he did on Apocalypse, where he controls the center of the map, it becomes almost impossible to hold your 4th base because they just get sieged from the low ground. So positionally on this map, it's going to be a big deal to make sure you control the center if you're Dewalt and not allow Mihu to just start setting up. Like you said last game, we had 4 tanks and 7 vultures in the middle of the map. If we clear that early enough, then we dominate the game as Dewalt. But we didn't do that, so now all of a sudden Mihu has a stronghold. And to get across these bridges, nearly impossible. But our players are ready for the next game. Let's get into it.
Sluber just created 5 super boxes.
Okay, in the top left, looking as dominant as ever, it is Mihu.
And in the bottom right, looking to get another win, is Dewalt.
So I actually think this map, if I'm Dewalt here, I think you gotta play like your 8-gate, act like you're gonna bust, but you don't bust. And because Mihu's been, getting the 10-minute comsat, 11-minute comsat, super late comsat, while you just have a lot of stuff in the middle, like, holding the bridges and stuff like that, build Stargates behind your natural, go into carriers. The guy's not going to scan it because he doesn't have a scan, and I think that could be a game-winning move on Dark Origin versus, first off, a guy that doesn't have scan, second, a guy that doesn't have upgrades, and just sitting across the bridges with a Reaver Goon is going to be hard to get across.
Yeah, I think that's a great plan. Nobody scans behind there. The only thing that may get it is a dropship, but you know what? That's a risk that I think Dewalt's going to need to be willing to take. And okay, no probe across the map this time to gas steal, by the way.
Yeah, I think this is smart. Like, you haven't been doing damage early game with Zealot. This guy clearly doesn't care about getting gas stolen. Might as well just streamline your build as fast as possible. And at this point, when you're down 3-1, if we're to lose this game, it's a best of 9 that would put us down 4-1. That means we have to win 4 straight in a row. So why not go to the build that worked out on Polypoid, where we crushed the Terran player?
Yeah, I think you got to go something, right? That's been working Like you're saying, you've been doing all these tricky. Oh, we're going around here. Do you have something tricky coming up?
I guess it could be like Proxy Citadel, Proxy DT.
Yeah, proxy double gate into 3-gate bust.
I don't know about this though, because this is versus a guy that goes Vulture every time, right? Off of no add-on. And as a Terran player, you know, you're trying to avoid the goon, right? That'll be sitting outside of your natural. Well, what's the only angle that you can go for that? Oh my gosh, is he sneaking in? Is he going to proxy in his base? Don't show the probe. Don't show the probe. Oh my gosh, it's going to be... I think it's going to be DT. I think we're going to be proxy DT.
Wow, no, gotta know that you message in between games to tell him how to handle Terran by just making...
Look at that.
Oh! Wow! Oh, no way!
Oh, no way. Yeah, but... Oh,
okay. You didn't see it. Okay.
Oh my gosh. I've never seen that. Look at that. You know what? You know what? Even though I love it, at the same time I hate it, because now when I hit all these foreigners on the ladder, I'm going to have to scout down here, and I'm going to have to not just scout, you know, the buildable terrain. I got to scout the freaking, what is that, the prison cell, and make sure that there's no probe sitting behind it.
This will be the build now that you face all week, Naoki.
Yeah.
So be prepared for hidden pylons behind neutral buildings.
Yeah, and I think this is, even though the Zealot hasn't done damage, this is a smart move in this particular game, because you just got to divert attention. As a DT specialist, one of the ways DTs become effective is you just divert, like, hey, look at me, I'm over here, but actually DT's about to run into your base. But the SCV in the center of the map has not gotten scouted yet, or has not been killed by the goon yet. If he can sneak in here.
He needs to make sure he gets that, because if he gets in the base and sees it, he'll know something's up, right? No Nexus, you know, DT, I'm going to put mines down. It will not even be close to as effective.
Well, okay. First
This
off,
is also like a giveaway here with the goon on the ramp. Yeah,
the SCV is going to see no Nexus. And second off, why are you donking off your Zealot like that? So now, eBay Academy needs to be our follow-up. Like, I realize you don't like the Academy, man, but what else can it be at this point? It can only be one base DT or one base Reaver, and mine's eBay Academy is good versus all that, except for the Academy, of course.
Maybe the Academy button is broken on his keyboard, man. He can't build, he's got to click it.
Please, eBay. Need an eBay.
He doesn't want it. He's going with just another fact.
Too late.
Oh, no, there it is.
But he needs it. He needs mines in his main. But the thing is he scouted his natural, or he scouted the back of his base. So the chances of him putting mines in his main are pretty much zero. Look at this. He goes to the top right side. Nothing there. Oh, but now he's gonna see it. Oh
my God! No way!
I don't think the DTs are out yet.
They're not.
They're not out yet. So actually,
can he wall? Oh my God! Just lays mine. No.
There's no way that this just happened. And Dewalt, who had a genius move. Whoa! What's this? Well, he sacks a DT to try and get in, but this is Mihu, who just builds vultures nonstop. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Dewalt cannot be happy, man. He went for a tricky build. Unbelievable. Super incredible. But just not enough. Well, what's mine here?
I guess it's technically not over yet, but this is a massive commitment from Dewalt, and just killing vultures and marines is not enough. And the turret gets up even, so 3 DTs plus gateways in the back, plus our nexus is delayed, plus we're gonna lose the gateways in the pylons. We have no robo either.
Yeah, this is a dire situation here for Dewalt. I'd like to see him make one Zealot to clear some mines. Oh, well.
Okay, we in there.
We're in. We're in. Let's see how many we can get. We can get one.
Needs to... Well, I guess at least he's going to get a couple depots. That's about the maximum amount of damage that he could possibly get. You know what's funny here? is if he was to build like this one zealot and then build a couple goons,
Oh,
he could
yeah.
actually be pretty strong.
That's a
But
great point.
there's no goon here, so zealot just dies, and that's an academy. I think he's gonna be denied. So the
don't
DT
like
is
it.
actually starting to get some damage done.
Problem is, look at the supplies right now.
Yeah, we're down in
The
the dump.
SCV, yeah, the SCV count's got to be insane right now for Mihu. Dewalt just getting up his natural. Can't believe that mine's not in range. Well,
He heard me.
he is listening to the Niokian playbook. He's read chapter 4, paragraph 3, fail DT proxy, make dragoons.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it didn't work out.
Well, I appreciate him trying. He was, you know, a Mihu pick. Maybe Dewalt doesn't like this map. Decide to go for something a little bit trickier, big brain play, but just didn't work out. Oh, and we have a Reaver too. Why stop at any tech? Why not just continue on, you know?
Well, hey, if this guy's not going to build a tank, might as well just one-shot the vultures.
And I'm waiting for like
Go
the
Mihu.
10 vulture run by here in the front and just killing all these probes because there's really not much home.
Well,
While
yeah.
making a wall there.
Yeah, the full pylon wall, that's my move, man. Thing is, instead of the Reaver follow-up, those would have been carriers.
Those would have been double Stargate behind this.
Yeah.
Dewalt
Well.
here, trying to get something done with this Reaver. Hope, scans up now. That's gone. Mihu will clear those pylons, unpower those gateways, and then just play into a 5-fact follow-up, knowing that Dewalt is behind that economy. He should be able to just push and run him over.
Yep, we know how good he is with the tank Vulture Marine push, and this time Dewalt has absolutely nothing to stop it. 5-fact, as expected. It will be hard to get across the bridges versus a Reaver, but when you have this much production, you know, you can bleed off some Vultures and tanks, and it doesn't matter. The Reaver will go into the main while all the stuff is out of position, at least for now. But as I say that, tank pops out in the nick of time.
Ooh, he may have picked it up in time for the shot hit. It did. Wow, well done for there from Dewalt. Picked that Reaver up 2 times for the 2 siege tank shots hit it. But I don't see any units other than this Reaver for Dewalt at his main base. Maybe like a goon or 2 at home. So I think Mihu's realizing, like, I don't want to waste my time here. I'm just going to go forward and push against your base. Why am I going to wait?
Yeah, and you know this guy doesn't have any production. His 2 gates are across the map, which are they're unpowered. Okay, he gets 3 vultures. That's really good. Oh,
Wow. All right.
well, because Mihu built vultures for about 8 minutes straight, the tank count is not that high. So this one Reaver will hold the line for now. And even Mihu is building a turret here, I get, for some reason. So he may actually just say, like, all right, well, maybe I can't get across the bridge. I'll just expand, and, you know, I'll still be fine because you have nothing, really.
I don't know, man. We know Mihu likes to push. He's like, give a Reaver on the other side of the bridges. Here we go.
Oh, okay, there he goes. It's funny, Dewalt moves out of position, and Mihu comes right then.
Like,
Well,
thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate that. And appreciate those 2 goons also. See you later. You can't stop this. It's impossible with the amount of gates that Dewalt has. He has 5 gate. There's not many tanks, but it doesn't matter because you're just not getting to them ever.
Yeah, I'm assuming Mihu's going to push to the right here and go up and down.
Yep.
Oh, never mind. He's just going to try to trap this army, I guess. Take control of the middle, maybe just contain Dewalt.
I don't know. If he went to the right side, it would be the same move he did versus Bonnet, and there's no way to engage that. Literally no way to engage it. The only thing that Dewalt could do is counterattack, and that's exactly what he's going to do here. He has 2 Reavers at his natural. There's no shuttle, though, so how effective can this be? Oh, of course it's not going to connect, man.
Why would it, Niokian? Why would a Reaver actually land one of its shots? No, not allowed. Well, nothing in the bunker, so he feels pretty good about that. Oof. Playing with fire here, trying to drop this Reaver in a good spot. There are just mines everywhere. Oh, that Reaver goes down, and then we are pushing across the bridges.
Well, this could be a mistake because Protoss does actually.
Oh my goodness, the shuttle with the Reaver.
Well, he does get off a big shot there, but Reaver dies. Goons, well, they do a little bit of damage, but these 4 or 5 tanks, well, I actually think, even though I don't think he can win the fight, I think you got to go at this point. And the reason is because it's Terran on 5 facts already. There's going to be a lot of vultures coming in a second, and once the vultures get there, you're definitely not getting on top of a tank. So now, what do you do as Dewalt? He's going to try and spam more gates, but he just doesn't have any units.
Yeah, we don't have enough here. That obviously the early try here really stunted his build, stunted his eco, and Mihu just slowly, not something we're normal for him. Usually it's just 1A, 2A, 3A, let's get across the thing and micro, but is now just picking apart Dewalt by slowly pushing in with mines, turrets, giving him no room to breathe. Dewalt trying to get out, but like you said, we can't even get to those siege tanks, and GG is called.
Yep, you just don't get to them ever. The vultures are always in the perfect position, and actually, he even put his racks across the map. So that's 1,000 hit points you got to get through. Also, so now, Mihu up 4-1, 1 game away. Dewalt looked so strong in game 1. I thought it was gonna be closer than it is, but this man,
Mihu turned it up, man. He was like, you know what? You want to win a game here? Take this one, then I'm coming for you. I hope you feel good. Nothing after that. Shutting you out of this series, not letting you back in once I take a hold of it. And once again, follow up for that game, 5 fact. Constant 5 factories, man.
I know, it's his bread and butter build, and it's a 5 fact, and when I think of players that go 4 fact, 5 fact, I always think of 4GG, or, you know, people like that, where they attack you like instantly at 6-7 minutes. This is not the 6-7 minute timing attack. This is macro 5 fact. This is, well, if it doesn't kill you, okay, I'll just expand. I'll just have the later upgrades. Doesn't matter. I'll max out a little bit later than, you know, other pros, but it's fine. And if it doesn't, and if you don't stop it, well, I just win, right? So far, this build just cannot be denied. I think actually it won all the games he used it versus Bonnet also. And we will be going into Dewalt's pick. But this is shooting break. How much experience can you actually have on this map?
Yeah, I would imagine both players do not have much, and I think aggression also favors on this map because of the reverse ramps, because of the way that the third bases are taken, a lot of a drop potential behind the naturals. So once again, Mihu probably doesn't mind a map like this. I wonder if Dewalt will go something with heavy aggression early to try to trap Mihu down in his base. We saw Bonnet go with some crazy double gates. I don't think we're going to see anything like that from Dewalt, but maybe we'll see a 2-gate before an expansion or something like that to kind of really put some heavy pressure on.
Yeah, this map reminds me of Optimizer in the sense where you get pretty much 3 gases for free. Your third base is literally right there. You don't even have to move. So, just in theory, pairing on 3 gas, 3 base, don't have to move. Sign me up, man. Whereas for Protoss, do you even really need 3 gases? If we look at a lot of Dewalt's games, actually he doesn't take a 3rd gas, 4th gas for a long time. So I don't even see how this benefits the playstyle for Dewalt. This feels like a Mihu map if Mihu's been practicing on it.
Yeah, I thought he would take retro over this, but obviously he must have something up his sleeve, because I agree with everything you're saying. To sit on 2 bases but 3 gas to get upgrades and go. Maybe Dewalt knows that Mihu doesn't love that style, so maybe he will still try to pressure. I think it's going to be an interesting one on this map because we haven't seen it much.
Yeah, I think this is actually their first PvP on this map. I don't remember a single Protoss versus Terran so far in BSL. And with this screen, it means that we are ready for potentially our last game. Mihu 1 game away from being BSL champion once again. Okay, in the top right, he cannot be stopped. It's Mihu.
And looking to get back into the series in the bottom right, it's Dewalt. Well, Mihu was one loss away from losing a Bonnet and then pulled it back. Maybe Dewalt can emulate that from the other side and take down Mihu.
It could happen, man. I'm a believer in Dewalt. I've been a believer for like 15 seasons now. But there's no denying that Mihu, he's just such a formidable opponent. He doesn't lose with these 4 facts, these 5 facts. Like, the only time he loses is when he deviates from it. So there's just yet to be an answer to it.
Yeah, he's just so strong, man. Macro, the micro, everything. Fighting with small groups of units, just crushing Protoss armies with less than he should have, man. It's wild. So I'm assuming, especially on a map like this where there's some high-low grounds, we're going to see Mihu just get aggressive again.
Well, this is going to be a forward gate. And, you know, in the olden days, maps like Requiem, Jade, you put pressure on with a Zealot, follow up with range goons. They sit on the high ground. Nightmare to deal with, I will say. But Terran players are too good versus the Zealot these days. The Zealot does almost no damage. That's just going to make your range follow-up even later. And speaking of being delayed range, there's still no gas. And we've seen this time and time again. How many Marines have we seen Mihu lose versus a Zealot in the beginning? None?
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any be lost so far this entire series, which is insane to me that his micro is that strong. And Dewalt, though, keeps trying to go for it. Maybe this will be the time. Maybe this time he doesn't have to commit now. Like we're saying, he can attack in, push him back, get a quicker goon out, and then hold the ramp. That might be able to help.
Maybe, but already this is bad news for Dewalt. First off, he's going to get a last scout off. Second, Mihu gets a first scout. And he sees not only is it forward gate, he sees that, hey, you don't even have gas. So Mihu gets to do what he's been doing all series long. He's going to have non-stop Marines. He's going to build the 3rd depot. He's going to build a Vulture. And I don't see the Zealot really being effective at all.
Yeah, really good Sim City there. Going to be feeling good about it. I mean, I'm hoping the Dewalt can at least get to the front. Oh, I wonder if he'll use that SCV to start blocking another Zealot, but he won't. If he can at least hold him in his base and delay the command center, I think that would be a big win for Dewalt here.
Well, there's a win. At least the SCV bounced on the wrong side. No flash SCV just yet, but Marine walked in like, yeah, step in here, Zealot. See what happens. I am not afraid.
He said, welcome to my party, Zealot. Welcome to my party.
Well, you know what's funny is if the probe does survive long enough, he could pylon wall the Vulture in, and then a Goon plus Zealot combo would be deadly. It would be game winning actually, but Dewalt doesn't have the money for that. Okay, there goes the pylon, so that idea's down the drain, but now we just have the Marines retreat, and now it's 5 Marines versus 3 Zealots. Vulture is going to be out in a second. The SCVs are body blocking for them.
I like what Dewalt's trying to do here. He needs to get his Dragoon up here as soon as he can, because this is going to be hard for him to fight here with just these Zealots at the Vulture out. The Vulture just does so much damage. It pretty much erases the shield of the Zealots. But here we go. We have the Dragoon follow-up, so he might be able to stop. You don't think he can even get in with these 3 Zealots in the Dragoon? Here we go.
Nope, the Marine Vulture focus fire is just too strong. It's crazy. The Vulture, well, you know, okay, the Goon is gonna barely survive, but again, you're just trading Zealots for Marines, and we know time and time again, Mihu doesn't care if he loses Marines. He can build them continuously, and it doesn't mess up his build, whereas Dewalt, he did have to cut for that, so he lost 3 Zealots, got 4 Marines, and that's it.
Yeah, the only good news is his Nexus did go up faster than the command center, so he does have a slight advantage there. But like you're saying, our trade early was not effective, and I'm looking at supplies, and once again, Mihu's up in the early game. I'm wondering if the work production from Dewalt was cut a little bit to get that 3rd Zealot.
I feel like it had to be. If you're going to try and also get your Goon out in time, it had to be a cut for something. Okay, the bunker... Well, actually the Vultures have gotten across the map. Remember, Mihu doesn't like to build tanks, so this bunker is going to be under threat, but there's no defense.
Oh, no! Nyoken. No, not okay. He's not going in. I was gonna say not like this.
Oh, he is going in. He's waiting for the goon to come back. He's on hold position. Actually, those vultures could have gotten in, and that would have won the game because the vultures would have, one-shotted every single probe.
Yeah, that would have been devastating. Dewalt would have been very unhappy with that result. And here we go, man. We're going. We're getting across the map.
Okay, he got one of the vultures. That's a big deal. Not just eliminating the vulture because it soaks up hit and does damage, but also means doesn't have to worry about that vulture laying additional mines. He doesn't run into a flanking minefield. So good pick off there. But Dewalt, he's still not out of it just yet. Now, if you can catch this vulture, that would again be a good pick off, and he is going to get it before it lays any mines. That's nice.
Yeah, well done from him, able to really hunt those vultures down. Anytime you can clear that presence of the mines, right, where a Terran can see everything, they feel comfortable, gives them a little bit of worry, right? They have to think about what's going on, where are the Terran or the Protoss units, is he going DT, anything like that. So I think that's really good for Dewalt. At least a mental win there, knowing that he has all that stuff cleared out.
Well, again, because this gate's forward, that could be under threat pretty soon. He doesn't have a lot of gateways in his main. I mean, he only has one, so it's 2-gate Reaver. We know Mihu likes to push. There's the dreaded 3 tanks. The Vulture Marine push with the tank follow-up, I'm sure is coming.
Yeah, we've pretty much seen it every game, or at least there's some sort of pressure early. Dewalt blocking off that side. I believe he can walk through the rock and the gateway, so he is, yes. So he's feeling okay with that. Wants to minimize that surface area for vultures to get in. Just put some map pressure on here. I'm not sure what Dewalt wants to do as a follow-up here in terms of just, does he want to go with the Reaver harass from behind, stay on 2 gateways a little bit, or is he just going to start putting down some Nexus, man?
I think he's going to just expand. He's kept Mihu back. Killing those 2 or 3 vultures was a big deal. I think for sure if they didn't die, the push would be coming. But because they ended up being taken down, doesn't have a lot of support for those tanks, so he's obligated to just sit back. Somehow these vultures sneak and actually lay down a single mine, and they do get spotted now.
Yeah, he has the Nexus down there though, 6 o'clock, so not as big of a deal to lose this probe. If he would have lost the probe prior, that would have been horrendous. Ooh, and immediate pylon wall here from Dewalt. I like to start seeing him get his gateway count out, knowing he's playing against Mihu, because I'm sure Mihu's adding factories. I think we're ready to put down 3 and 4. We really need to start getting our gateway count up, add a Citadel, and probably a 5th factory here. We're going for a 5-fact. This is it, man. He's like, you know what? This is what wins me games. I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yep, also, by the way, there's a pretty big supply block for Dewalt, so he wasn't able to build probes during all this. And now he definitely can't afford to build probes because the factories are
another Reaver, man.
Yeah, he does kill 2 SCVs and a Vulture, and he does stall the 5-fact timing, but he lost like 120 points of health on that Reaver. I don't know about this. Okay.
We're going for it. We're going for it. Great shot for the first one. Oh my goodness, can he get to the Reaver, get out of another shot? If he can hit that tank on the bottom, oh my goodness. For a second there, Nyoken, all the SCVs moved together to one mineral patch. I thought he was going to drop the Zealot and the Reaver and just try to kill all 12 of the SCVs.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get the SCVs also, but despite that, that was a good move because now he's disrupted the flow of Mihu. Mihu's now on the back foot. Mihu doesn't have very many vultures left over. We know he loves those vultures, so with the lack of vultures, he's not going to be feeling confident to move out for a little bit of time, and that's going to allow Dewalt to get his 3rd base up and running. But again, the gateway count is still low. I didn't see a Citadel either, so it's going to still be no speed on the Zealot. Just Goon Reaver to try and hold this.
Yeah, not a great thing to try to stop with. The Reaver does help big time with the push, as you know. Having that Reaver just kind of pick up fire, forcing Terra into siege will buy him some time. But Mihu, man, 5 factories versus 5 gateways is not where you want to be. Vultures build so quickly. All right, here we go. Good shot. Oh, come on. How doesn't it kill that Vulture?
Yeah, wasn't it moving forward? Somehow 75 does not get taken down there.
75 makes the Reaver pay another 15, man. It's unbelievable.
All those Zealots. This, from Terran's perspective, this does feel dangerous. But knowing that it's shooting break, where ironically, you don't even have to move past this point to just take your third base. Mihu should be feeling fine that even though he's getting, contained in an arc, he's still going to be able to get his third base up easily.
Dewalt just sitting there in an arc, man.
Oh,
Finally learning.
By the way, I'm just now looking at Dewalt's natural. Does he not have his gas?
He does not.
So this is full-on gateway man. There is no follow-up to this. This is a make or break. I either bust and win the game, or I'm super dead. There is no storm. Definitely no arbiters. He doesn't even have... I think he has a Forge just now starting +1. So he doesn't even have upgrade advantage either.
Yeah. Gateway man really strong, but Mihu taking a third command center on that low ground there. Dewalt's going to have to get something done with his bus, like you're saying. I mean, I'm assuming he continued production. We have the 3 shuttles like in game 1, so it looks like that's the kind of play he's going for. But taking a 4th base, but no late game tech yet. Like, I mean, how close can how fast can our arbiter get to here, right? 14, 15-minute arbiter, even if we started now, even later than that?
Yeah, and even then it wouldn't have stasis. So this is... There's actually an opportunity in the main right now with the double shuttle, but does he know is the question. I don't see an observer at that location. It's also, Mihu hasn't moved that far away from his natural and main at all right now, so he could just come back. And here we go. He is going into the main. Of course a tank pops out right then. Vulture's running. And of course the rally of the units come in at the clutch time. And that means
that this together.
Well, they're together, but they're going to body block for each other and save them.
Oh, this is unbelievable. Terran OP. Yo, there we go. Finally a big shot.
Finally, but look at 75 coming in again. Clutch. Okay, take some damage.
By 150.
Yeah, but that's not enough. That's definitely not enough. That needed to kill a lot of SCVs. It didn't. It needed to kill a lot of Vultures. It didn't really. And we're still stuck with Gateway Man. I think I saw the Templar archive, so at least he'll have Storm in the next couple minutes or so. But Terran's just sitting there. He's gonna wait for Max.
Yeah, Mihu doesn't have to do much, right? He sees that the 4th base just getting up with his scans. He can just get his upgrades, push forward, take over the 12 o'clock position as well, and take the gas behind his main if he wants, and then long distance bind it, and he's feeling great. It's almost like 4 gas.
Well, there's the Ugox DT.
Oh!
That is definitely not a Ugox DT. I know a Ugox DT when I see them, and they survive a lot longer. They're so annoying. And
is he still invisible? Because I can't see him.
Yeah, he's completely invisible. He'll never be visible again.
Wow. Invisible to the observers. Unbelievable. New level of DT.
Well, we've got a Vulture counterattack down to bottom left. And this might actually trigger Dewalt to attack because he may think that, hey, you've got a lot of supply out of position. No, actually, he's not.
Oh no. Don't start running into mines now, Dewalt. I mean, Mihu's got to go down there and not feel terrible, man, right? Like, okay, I know Protoss on 4 base, macroing like crazy, but you yourself run 3. You can easily take a 4th yourself. You haven't seen any heavy tech. The shuttle did some damage, but not a lot. Oh, we're just starting our starport now. Oh, no.
Well, you don't need that, right?
Not important. Not important. There's no, tech tree that occurs here in StarCraft.
The good old 14-minute starport timing. It's fine though, because he needed a lot of stuff versus this Protoss player who's just going pure gates. Okay, we unload a Templar, but see you later.
Dude, man, Mihu just defending and protecting everything. Tons of zealous, but like you're saying, there's no heavy tech. That is a problem. It's insane to think you can engage these armies without some stasis, some storm, some AoE. You need that stuff.
Well, again, another drop here, but this isn't going to do much. And like I was saying, Protoss, Terran's just going to sit here until max. Like he's fine with sitting, and he can take his 4th base while sitting. Look at this. He's going to be even in bases. He's going to be you know, even in supply. Dewalt does not have a bank. Okay, that storm was really good. I actually didn't think it was even going to hit the SCV line.
It was well done. Excellent storm. Yeah, I mean, Dewalt needs to start taking more bases, need to add more gateways, need to get arbiters out on the field here. If he can get to 2-1, he'll have a really strong versus just what is 1-0 right now. Mihu probably 1-1 shortly. But
1-1 already done, but his science facility was really slow, so +2 or 2-2 is going to be a long ways away. You can even now see his second army just now finishing. Okay, if he can catch these tanks with some storm right here, maybe. No, the high ground is just too punishing. Where do you attack as Protoss? You can't attack from there. You can't attack on the right side. The only angle you can attack is in the center of the map, but Mihu's just not in the center of the map. He's just saying, well, I'll just wait and wait and wait, take my 4 bases, and now here he comes. Okay, now he's over some mines. It's too bad he doesn't have the shuttle anymore. It could have been devastating.
yeah, Dewalt needs to back up here. Mihu pushing across the map, and all I see are zealots right now. Zealot, 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 zealot. Not what you need to take out this army here.
My
and
God.
oh no, he gets some of his army caught, and Mihu coming in here for what could be the final attack.
Oh, Dewalt's army is not synced up. It's a massacre, man. This is, look, his trailing. He doesn't have any goons left over, so it's pure zealot versus tank vulture. Now
All
those
these
mine connections were pretty good, but the micro back. Look at the supply. Now it's Mihu favor. There is a billion tanks left over, and we know Vulture or Mihu loves to build that 75. So the rally is going to be quick, and there they come.
Oh my
There's lack of
goodness.
storm. There's no goons.
Mihu feeling it now to be champion again. He's pushing forward for this final attack. Knows if he can bust this area and bust this rally, he will be the BSL champion again.
Oh,
And there it is. GG.
Oh my gosh, Mihu, he's too strong, man. The macro's just crazy, and he reads you perfectly, even without Comsat. One of the reasons I keep talking about Comsat is because you need to know what Protoss is doing. But he always knows, even if he doesn't have it, and he just read Dewalt perfectly. He knew he was all in with the gateways, and instead of attacking like he usually does, he just waited for his moment and capitalizes.
I mean, it's unbelievable, man. Again, he just makes all the right moves, reacts appropriately all the time, handles the drops well. He's everywhere, laying mines, reading into the game like you're saying, and just flexes his muscle, man. I mean, just 1-0, massive Terran army takes a crazy good engagement on the map, and finally pushes his way to be the winner here in BSL 17.
Yeah, like I say every single season, we look at the top 8 bracket. There's one Terran, but that's all we need, man.
That's all you need.
We only need Mihu or El Champion to go the distance, and here we are again. Taysagi reigns supreme. I feel bad for Dewalt because this is like the 3rd time he's played Mihu in the finals. I think actually the first time around they were the closest. It was like 4-3. But every single season after that, it gets wider and wider and wider. And Mihu, he's just so good, especially in this matchup.
Yeah, his TVP is crazy, and when he finds something that he feels he can exploit, he just uses it over and over and over again. 5-fact, every game since the first loss of the day, and just pushed over Dewalt over and over and over again. Dewalt tried to get tricky. Hats off to him for making those attempts, but Mihu just proved to be a little bit too much today for him. Dewalt, phenomenal player. Second place is nothing to look away from, but I'm sure he's feeling a little bit annoyed that it's like his 3rd or 4th second place.
Yeah, it's like he always gets here, right? And you just think like every year that goes by, will I ever get there again? Well, this is my own opinion. Like when you make the finals, you know, it could be the only time that you make it there. So you want to make it count. He's been there like 5-6 times now. It's like, dude, how many times will I have this opportunity again? So I feel bad, like I said, for Dewalt because he's so good, right? He's so good. But Mihu, he's just a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, Dewalt is incredible. An incredible player. Just practices, man, stays with it, doesn't give up, gets better, studies replays, plays with the best players. Just cannot get over that Mihu hump right now, where Mihu just seems to have a little bit of an edge, and that edge pushes him in these games to take victories, man. And, you know, hats off to him. He played really well again. You know, through the whole BSL, he was incredible.
Yeah, and you know what makes Mihu hard to play against is if you play ladder, there's nobody on ladder that plays like Mihu. Everybody plays upgrades. Everybody builds 3 facts, they sit there and they expand. Like I was actually before the cast started, I was trying to think like, okay, who could Dewalt ask that plays like Mihu? I couldn't really even come up with anybody. I actually thought, well, maybe SPX, because at least SPX, even though he doesn't 4 fact, 5 fact, and he's not always in your, he isn't as strong. At least SPX is always attacking you, right? At least he's bringing it to you, so you have to respond to him. But other than that, who is there? Not me for sure. Not Artosis, not the Big Jip. The Big Jip played Dewalt on the weekend, but they don't play similar. Like you can't practice for Mihu. He's completely different.
Yeah, completely different and really good at what he does. So like, you have this unique style that you're just unbelievable at. So it's not like you're seeing this different style of like, oh yeah, this is odd. It's hard to deal with. Like it's really hard. He's everywhere. You see, he's doing drops while he's pushing the front and then running some vultures by the side. He's forcing you to multitask. He's forcing you to macro. He's forcing you to take good fights. If he was one fight in the middle of the map, he just wins the game. He pushes his lead so well and just keeps going. And on top of it, doesn't miss any of the details like SCVs. You look back, the guy's always got 50, 60 SCVs when he needs them. So like he's a macro machine who's fighting in good fights while also pulling you all over the place. It makes sense why he can play with some Korean players and be close in some of these series.
Yeah, which is why it's more impressive when I do see him play versus a pro. Like let's take Snow for example, or Minia for example. I remember Mihu playing versus them in a series like maybe it was a year ago, and I think they won like 9-0. Like the pros just won 9-0. I'm like, geez, man, like, oh my god, like you're just obliterating Mihu, and Mihu comes to BSL and just obliterates everybody. So it's just crazy. But regardless, congrats to Mihu again, 4-time champion. I think he's played in like 5 BSLs, and he's been the champion 4 times. It's ridiculous. We've gone from Protoss domination with Bonnet, and then, Zerg domination with True Touch and Eon Zerg. Now we finally get some Terran domination with Mihu. Terra's been in there a couple times with some championships. So it's been well done from Mihu. I did want to point out, again, we have our goal for BSL 18. We're about halfway there. Thank you all today for donating. I saw we had like $1,000 donation in total from a couple people. Thank you so much for the continued support, but we're still a little short on BSL 18. But again, BSL 17 couldn't have happened without the support of our Patreon supporters and current supporters of the BSL. So if we could bring up our Patreon screen, there we go. At the $100 level, we have the one and only Star Lover and My Fleeting Dream. At $50, we've got Striker, Believe in Zero, Pat Fuzzy, Tim, Cuz, Apocalypse 9 Tech at $30, $20, Valentina, Ulai, Kevin, JC, Suricata, Bryce Bates, Work, Stephen Robertson, Medino, Imperium, Daniel Lopez, On My Way, Gordon Bradley, KJ LML, Scheming Gypsy, and all you other Patreon supporters so much for supporting the BSL. Remember, $10 or above support gets you all the replays from BSL. And of course, we have our just straight up donations at the top. You can see CRVT, Jaziri today coming in clutch, Pure Pat always coming in clutch. I saw somebody else also with the big donation. I think it was Prayphil, if I remember correctly. Thank you so much for continuous support.
The name of the dance we do down Johannesburg way.
So these are the list of the donators today. There were more than that because I remember seeing some big donations earlier, but thank you again for supporting BSL. And that's it, Raz. Do you have any final words before we get on out of here?
Oh man, thanks for you for commentating with me today. Thanks for Zero for putting this together, and thank you to the players for making it happen and making sure they're participating, and mostly thank you to our Patreon supporters and our donators to keep making this event happen. We really enjoyed BSL events. Thailand will be coming up in the next couple weeks here, and we really want to see another season 18 happen. So keep pushing Zero to do it by helping him out, and unbelievable, man. Another really great season.
Yep, another good season. Hope to see you guys next season for BSL 18. Even though we're done with season 17, as Raz mentioned, the Thailand event coming up in a couple weeks. So I hope Oh, next weekend, actually. It's even closer than I thought. So 1 week away, you get some more BSL action. Artos is going to be there. Julia, a bunch of other top players going to be there. It's going to be exciting. So I hope you tune in and enjoy that tournament.